Everything is going quantum. I was introduced to quantum physics back in the 1990s. I didn't hear the word quantum much for a few years until about 2017 when I started hearing about the quantum financial system, or the QFS. Well, now the financial world is abuzz with talk of a revolution. A new system is on the horizon, promising to reshape global finance as we know it. This revolutionary system is none other than the quantum financial system, or QFS, that some of us have been anticipating for years. The QFS is not merely an upgrade, but a complete paradigm shift. It promises a world free from the shackles of traditional banking, with transparency and security at its core. Imagine a system where transactions are instantaneous and fraud becomes a relic of the past. This is the potential that the QFS holds. But what exactly is the QFS? It's a complex beast built on cutting-edge technology. Understanding its intricacies is crucial to grasping its potential impact on our lives. The QFS is more than just a new way of banking. It's a gateway to a new financial framework. Let's look beneath the surface at the technology powering the QFS. At the heart of the QFS lies the power of quantum computing, which we really haven't touched on much in the past. This revolutionary technology utilizes the principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations at speeds unimaginable with traditional computers. This immense computing power forms the bedrock of the quantum financial system, enabling it to process vast amounts of data with lightning speed. But speed is just one facet of the QFS's technological prowess. Speed without security could be dangerous. In most areas of life, the limiting factor in how fast we can do something is our ability to do it accurately and safely. So another facet of a quantum financial system is that it's highly secure. This is done via the second key element of the quantum financial system, which is blockchain technology, known for its role in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and election security via blockchain ballots. But that really hasn't come out too much yet, but it will. Blockchain technology is a system for recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system, even by governments. It is a decentralized, distributed digital ledger that records transactions across many computers so that the record is secure, transparent, and immutable. Each transaction is added to a block and linked to previous blocks in a chain, using cryptographic techniques, ensuring that once data is recorded, it cannot be altered retroactively without altering all subsequent blocks and gaining the consensus of the entire network, where some or all nodes may not even be on Earth, but on a satellite rotating it. This provides even more security. Put simply, blockchain provides the quantum financial system, QFS, with multiple validated copies of a secure and clear record of all transactions, making it nearly impossible to change or hide records. This fusion of quantum computing and blockchain technology creates a system that is both incredibly fast and incredibly secure. It's this unique combination that allows the QFS to handle the complexities of global finance like nothing we've ever seen before. There are clues everywhere. Our world is going to be amazing for everyone if we could just make people see the gravity of what is really going on. Quite a few people are struggling to understand terms that are being used to discuss certain events that are to occur in the future should the evil ones be unseated. Now that you know what the QFS is, let's discuss the term RV, or revaluation, and how that affects our lives. RV, or revaluation, refers to adjusting the value of an asset or currency to reflect its current market value, and the QFS is linked with a global financial reset. But we must be careful because there are two opposing scenarios for a reset. One from the globalists who have drained us dry and now we can never repay them. They are calling their initiative the Great Reset, which proposes a move away from individual ownership towards shared resources and global governance. Can anyone tell me what system this is? Anyone? The Global Currency Reset, or GCR, is very different. It creates a stable monetary system backed by gold. We don't pay anybody to print it, and we don't pay the elite interest to borrow it. The globalists will have lost the system that made them so wealthy and powerful, and which made us slaves to their money. So that's what the RV, or reset, is all about. There are two of them. The globalist Great Reset, where you give all of your money to the government to decide how it is to be spent. The other is the Global Currency Reset by the alliance that supports Donald Trump. Rather than trusting the government to do the right thing with our money, like helping other countries, the GCR resets the currency of those poor countries, so they are making plenty of money, to feed their families and live a life of prosperity. There will be no need for charity or theft. Everyone will have enough by simply resetting the value of our money. We do that by making sure that money has value and is backed by gold. I know that you've likely heard about NESARA GESARA, portrayed as a pipe dream if you watch MSNBC or CNN. Well, intertwined with the concept of the Global Financial Reset or GFR is the idea of NESARA GESARA. Standing for National Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, NESARA GESARA is a set of proposed economic reforms that have been circulating for decades. While its origins are shrouded in mystery, its core tenets have resonated with many seeking a fairer and more equitable financial system. NESARA GESARA proposes a sweeping overhaul of the global financial system, including the abolition of income taxes, the forgiveness of debt, retribution, and the introduction of a new asset-backed currency. Proponents believe that its implementation would usher in an era of unprecedented prosperity, freeing humanity from the shackles of debt and economic oppression. Despite the controversy, NESARA GESARA continues to capture the imagination of those disillusioned with the current financial system, fueling hope for a brighter economic future. If you are looking through the Library of Congress, you won't find NESARA. That's because allegedly it never went through Congress. Harvey Barnard was an engineer from Louisiana who proposed an extensive version of NESARA in the 1990s. I will put a link to it in the description of this video. Barnard submitted his proposal to Republican Representative Linda Schenck from Louisiana, who is known for her interest in economic reforms. There is no publicly available record or credible evidence indicating that Linda Schenck ever showed Harvey Barnard's NESARA submission to anyone. She never submitted it as a bill, and it never gained traction beyond its initial submission. But that wasn't the end of NESARA. Reports are that late on March 9, 2000, a quorum of 15 members of the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House passed the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. But it still needed signed by the president, which Clinton wasn't doing. So rumor has it that on October 10, 2000, under orders from U.S. military generals, the elite Naval SEALs and Delta Force entered the White House and forced President Bill Clinton at gunpoint to sign NESARA, which he did, and agents involved signed a non-disclosure agreement. I need to tell you that there are no official records of this event. I was not able to find an executed copy in official government databases, so I can neither prove or disprove that Bill Clinton signed NESARA. I think it's important for people to know what this bill calls for, in case we do see it in the future. Coincidentally, the bill calls for a currency revaluation. That is the connection of the RV and the Global Currency Reset, or GCR. The next step in this initiative is the elimination of personal and national debt. By eliminating debt, the proposal seeks to provide an economic restart to remove the burden of existing financial obligations on individuals, businesses, and governments. NESARA is seen as a way to redistribute wealth and provide financial relief to those burdened by debt. Debt elimination would also free up resources for spending and investment, stimulating economic growth. The proposal also aims to address perceived injustices in the financial system, such as unfair lending practices, excessive interest rates, and predatory loans, which have been going on for as long as I can remember, and the people are never adequately compensated in class action suits. NESARA also calls for the introduction of a new tax system, one where federal income taxes and the IRS are eliminated along with intrusive and unfair tax practices. The proposal calls for the elimination of federal income tax on individuals and on corporations. It replaces income tax with a national consumption sales tax on new, non-essential goods and services. The specific rate is not detailed in the proposals often discussed online, but it would apply to consumption rather than income. One other significant change outlined in the NESARA proposal is the establishment of an independent trust fund to ensure that the Social Security funds are not commingled with the general federal budget, thereby protecting them from being used for other governmental expenses. Since the money paid into Social Security by Americans does not belong to the federal government, I can't believe that they were ever allowed to be part of the federal budget. As a real estate broker, I was not allowed to commingle buyer escrow funds with my office bank account. By separating Social Security from the general budget, the proposal seeks to rebuild public trust and ensure transparency in how these funds are managed. To understand how we got here, I'm going to briefly touch on the Federal Reserve, which is a private company that controls our money and lends it to us. Allegedly, the Federal Reserve is supposed to transfer any profit to the U.S. Treasury, which would mean that they are non-profit. The Federal Reserve, however, is not registered as a nonprofit corporation, and there is no law to exempt them from paying taxes. Rather, it is understood in the Federal Reserve Act. So, the Federal Reserve is a central bank that makes lots of money on interest and varying charges, but they don't pay taxes. I did find their most recent annual report, and it appears that they really don't declare much profit. I'm not an accountant, but will provide a link for those that would like to review the only accounting that exists for the Federal Reserve, which was completed by an independent company. The potential implementation of the QFS raises critical questions about the future of the U.S. financial system. As the world's largest economy, the United States has a lot at stake. How would NESARA GESARA affect the lives of people around the world on a daily basis? Let's take a look at the world, a few years into Donald Trump's second term as president, with NESARA GESARA well underway. Well, under NESARA GESARA, life for Americans and people worldwide has had significant changes. Debt relief was one of the most immediate impacts. Mortgages, credit card balances, and student loans were forgiven, providing financial freedom and reducing stress for millions. The new tax system replaced income taxes with a national sales tax on non-essential goods. People no longer fear the wrath of their national taxing agency. We don't owe them anything for the right to work. Instead, taxes for non-essential items are raised, but this is only paid on brand new items. So if you want a boat, just buy a used one and you don't pay sales tax. This new system truly encourages those with the most expendable cash to give back the most. Under NESARA GESARA, poverty and homelessness saw significant reductions. There was a profound positive effect on the psyche of the homeless and drug addicted by providing them with financial relief, housing opportunities, and access to comprehensive support services, fostering a sense of hope and stability. The elimination of personal and household debt freed up resources, allowing individuals to invest in housing and basic needs. The economic boost from increased consumer spending and business growth led to more job opportunities, further reducing poverty levels. Social Security benefits were secured and increased, with dedicated funding ensuring their sustainability. Retirees now receive 3 times what they were getting from Social Security, up to $5,000 a month. They feel confident about their financial future giving and have a renewed reason to live free of pain with the assistance of medbeds, but that's another video. Economic growth surged as businesses and consumers were relieved of debt burdens. Small businesses expanded, and new startups emerged, driven by increased consumer spending and access to resources. The establishment of a quantum financial system eliminated predatory lending practices and created more equitable economic opportunities. NESARA also addressed healthcare by promoting reforms aimed at making medical services more accessible and affordable. People now have universal healthcare coverage, ensuring that all individuals had access to necessary medical care without financial hardship. Medbeds are free and give everyone a fresh start, healing long-standing medical conditions back to the point of conception. People focus on preventive care and natural wellness to reduce long-term healthcare costs and improve overall public health. Funds have been redirected from debt relief and tax reforms to improving healthcare infrastructure and services. Globally, GESARA fostered cooperation and peace. Military conflicts have ceased due to global agreements and cooperation. All nations collaborate on projects for infrastructure and environmental sustainability. This shift promoted a sense of global unity and hope for a peaceful future. Overall, NESARA GESARA transformed financial systems, reduced economic inequality, and encouraged global cooperation, creating a more prosperous and fair world for all. This is the future that we have been promised if we can only break away from the enslavement of the elite. If we could only trust that there are many brave heroes behind the scenes that have been risking their lives, some for decades, to stop the cancer that has taken over world government and the infrastructures necessary for us to thrive. The QFS has ignited a firestorm of debate, with opinions ranging from enthusiastic support to outright dismissal. For some, it represents a beacon of hope, a chance to break free from the corruption and manipulation of the current financial system. They see it as a path to greater economic equality and individual empowerment. Others, however, view the QFS with extreme skepticism, not willing to consider anything that the media has told them is right-wing extreme. They question the feasibility of such a radical transformation, pointing to the lack of concrete evidence. yet they do no independent research and are completely dismissive of any sort of cover-up by the government. The truth about the QFS likely lies somewhere between these two extremes. There no doubt will be great benefits of the impending move to a quantum financial system should the people of the world recognize and embrace it. Will everything happen exactly as you envisioned? Probably not. There will be adaptations and adjustments, but core economic principles predict great improvement and prosperity from the initiatives in NESARA. The future of finance lies in a growing digital horizon. Regardless of one's stance on the QFS, one thing is clear: the future of finance is digital. The world is moving towards a cashless society, driven by technological advancements and evolving consumer preferences. The rise of cryptocurrencies, mobile payments, and online banking are all indicative of this trend. The QFS, whether it lives up to its proponents' expectations or not, is a symptom of this larger shift. It reflects a growing desire for a more efficient, transparent, and accessible financial system. As technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative solutions emerge, further blurring the lines between the physical and digital realms of finance. This digital revolution presents great opportunities to increase privacy and security for all of us. Navigating this evolving landscape requires a proactive approach, staying informed about emerging technologies and adapting to the changing dynamics of the financial world. The power of knowledge. Unraveling financial complexities. The financial world can seem like a labyrinth of complex terms, intricate systems, and ever-changing regulations. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and intimidated, especially with the emergence of new concepts like the QFS and the talk of global financial resets. But don't let complexity be a barrier to understanding. Take the time to break down these complex ideas into smaller, more manageable pieces. Read books, articles, and reputable online resources. Engage in discussions with financial experts and seek out different perspectives. The more you learn, the less intimidating the financial world will seem. Remember, knowledge is not about memorizing facts and figures. It's about understanding the underlying principles and how they impact your life. By developing a solid foundation of financial literacy, you can make more informed decisions about your money, your investments, and your future. Preparing for change. Adapting to the financial future. The financial landscape is in a constant state of flux. New technologies emerge, regulations change, and global events can send shockwaves through the markets, which are currently dropping. Wall Street is calling yesterday, July 24, 2024, Wipeout Wednesday, and while the markets began to pull back up today, there are numerous factors happening that erode consumer trust in the market. The fact that multiple countries have stopped trading in petrodollars since 2000 has drastically decreased demand for the dollar. In this dynamic environment, adaptability is key. Don't cling to outdated methods or resist change. Embrace it and learn to adapt. I'm not a financial expert, but speak to one about gold, which has been moving upwards pretty quickly and is at an all-time high. Silver is also rising and is a much more affordable way to get into precious metals. One thing I can tell you is that I personally would never buy paper. I want to hold my metals, and I would also consider the potential numismatic value of gold and silver rounds of Trump, Patriots, and Q. So consider diversifying your financial portfolio to mitigate risk. Explore new investment opportunities, but do your due diligence before making any decisions. Stay informed about economic trends and be prepared to adjust your financial strategies accordingly. Remember, the only constant is change itself. By developing a flexible mindset and a willingness to adapt, you can navigate the uncertainties of the financial world with greater confidence and resilience. Our future is not yet written. While there are programs and plans that have been engineered and amended over many years, the people still hold the power. If we continue to tolerate the same governmental and industrial corruption, we will continue to be drained dry by increasing inflation. We will be cementing our fate to become financial slaves forever. We are writing history. With the advent of quantum technology, we can lock the crooks out. We can take back control of our money. We, the people, can keep more and give more to those in need. Each and every one of us has a role to play in shaping this future. Don't be a passive observer. Be an active participant. Engage in discussions, share your ideas, and demand transparency and accountability from financial institutions and policymakers. Support initiatives that promote financial literacy and empower individuals to take control of their financial well-being. Advocate for policies that foster innovation, competition, and fairness in the financial system. The future of finance is not something that will be handed down to us. It's something we must collectively create. Remember, the financial world doesn't exist in a vacuum. It impacts every aspect of our lives. By taking an active role in shaping the future of finance, we're not just shaping our financial well-being, but the well-being of our communities, our nations, and our world.